mother depended on me to help her. And we did. And then we had Peter. Unfortunately, things happened to him, and my mother taught me about that. And everybody can't stand their mother when they're little. You say to yourself, oh, why is she making me this? Why am I doing this? And why am I doing that? Oh, I gotta do this, I gotta learn this. But you know something? When I had my daughter and I had my first kid, I may not be a great person, but I became a great father because of her. With all those kids that my mother brought into the house, they left out happy, you know, and I learned a lot from my mother. And because of that, I have great kids because of her. And my mother had a rule, and my mother would say, you don't do good with your kids, I'm taking them. I stood by her in so many things. And a lot of things I took for granted. But the one thing I didn't do was take advantage of my mother. That woman earned it. Everything she had. Everything. My kids love my mother. My kids are successful. Not because of me. Because of my mother. It's because how my mother is. My son's a carpenter. My daughter runs, she runs 2 dentist offices. I got a son right now who's learning to be a mechanic because he wants to melt metal to make tools for hospitals and things of that nature. They all got that from my mother. When they need advice, they go to my mother, not to the father. It's my mother who my kids run to for everything. I cannot be any more proud of this woman. To be a CO, I didn't know what that meant until I saw criminals in the street talking to me. Oh, where's your mother? and I'm stuck. My mother was part of the Puerto Rican parade, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful, you know. My mother got into politics with Bill Finch, who's also a great man. You know, he has a great family, and you know, I sometimes I'm speechless with some of the things this woman does. I could never match what my mother is. I can't. I don't even see anybody comes that close. I know people say that about their mothers, but I can truly say it. You know what I'm saying? We are truly proud of my mother. And I love my mother with her heart. That's why she is. And I love my mother, and I'm glad for all her successes, everything, because she earned it. No one gave it to her. She took it. You know, she wouldn't take no half steps. She wouldn't do no cut corners. She wouldn't take any bribes. No nothing. I used to joke with my mother. You know, I say to my mother, oh yeah, you're up there. Get a house. Let the city pay for it. My mother would be like, shut up. We don't do that in this family. Woman was never corrupt. You know what I'm saying? No matter what they say, my mother was like my mother took care of kids in the city. How did I know that my mother was taking care of kids overseas that were abused and things like that? And my mother found a place for them. My mother found a place for homeless people. To this day, people still trying to get her to do things. You know? And I'm, you know, I know it's being selfish, but I'm glad she's retired. Because finally, I'm going to get my mother with me 24/7. I thank everybody who came here today and talked great about my mother. Because my mother earned, in my eyes, my mother earned this 10 times over. And she's going to heaven. I don't know what's happening to me, but I know she's going to heaven. So, again, thank you everybody for coming here today. I truly preach from the bottom of my heart, you know. But Mom, I love you for everything. Thank you.